my goodness. Ugh. That feels so much better. I just had a little rest, a little nap. Oh, I'll get up so that I can talk to you a little better. So, I thought I'd do this next video in bed with you. You know, get a little intimate and personal. This is my very silly way of doing the third pillar of wellness: rest, recovery, and sleep. It is so important to be rested. And you might think, what are the differences between rest, recovery, and sleep? Well, if you read the article that goes along with this video, I give a bit of a brief definition of them all. Let's start with sleep. Sleep is the most important of all of them. Sleep is one of the most vital aspects of our life, shy of air, drinking water, and eating healthy. If you don't sleep properly and well, you are not fully recovered. There's things that happen to our bodies and our mind during sleep. Deep levels of sleep that allow us to dream, that allow our brains to regenerate, to process what we've learned, to solidify new things that we've learned, from movement patterns to increasing our intelligence to remembering things. And these happen synaptically, but think of it like baking a loaf of bread. There are several steps that have to happen. You have to add yeast and some sugar for it to grow and bubble, and then you have to add flour to the mixture, and then it rises some more, and then you punch it back down, and then when you finally bake the bread, it becomes a solid, and it becomes baked and finished and complete. Well, it's not like our brains become baked unless you're smoking something funny, but the process of sleeping is like that, rising and falling and rising and falling, and the waves that can literally be charted, when you're doing a brainwave analysis in sleep, that you see what happens in the brain, the restful periods, the rapid eye movement, and all kinds of crazy stuff happens during the sleep. But if you don't prioritize sleep, if you don't set up your sleep hygiene, I'm sure you've experienced it like 9.9, like 10 out of 10 people on this planet. If you are sleep deprived, and even more than a couple of days, you can't function, you don't feel well, you can't think straight, you don't move well, you bump into things, you can't remember things, you have no balance. So first, how do we get good sleep? Well, this is called sleep hygiene, and if you Google, you'll probably get some of the best results on the first screen for how to improve your sleep hygiene. But here are some basic things. You've got to have a dark room. For most of us, we are light sensitive. Light is what triggers wakefulness and what affects our circadian rhythm, and that's what tells us when to go to sleep, when to get up, when to have energy, when to be ready for our day. So I've got fairly dark drapes with a blackout backing so that I can get a really dark room. It's important to make sure that there are not any, or at least very few, electronics in your room that are giving off any kind of light. It depends on you. Some people are extremely light sensitive, and just an LED clock is going to bother them in some way. So if you have a television in the room and maybe a cable box, turn the cable box to the side or have it somewhere so that that light doesn't create any brightness in the room. Sound. Are you disturbed or bothered by sound? I'm a very, relatively speaking, light sleeper, so sound, the way I've dealt with it living in the city is I wear earplugs, and I think I've been doing this for over 10 years, and now I can't sleep without them. Or if you sleep with someone in your bed, and maybe they turn and toss a lot, or maybe they snore a little bit, if that keeps you awake, that's going to negatively affect your sleep. Sometimes having white noise, like just a fan going in the background, helps, or even a white noise type machine. There are all kinds of apps out there for both taking a nap and sleeping, or helping you get more in the brainwave state for falling to sleep, that you can use pre-sleep or even leave them on while you sleep. Bedding and your bed. Invest. If you spend a third of your life, about 8 hours a day, 8 hours out of 24 hours is 1/3 of your life sleeping, why would you not spend money on a quality bed? Now, a good bed is going to last you 7 to 10 years. And take the time to find a quality mattress. Go out to whatever mattress store, try several beds until you find one that feels right. Then leave the store. Come back. Then try those 2 or 3 beds that seem to fit you right. Take your time. Take your shoes off, take a nap on the bed, make sure you get a comfortable pillow to try it. Then leave the store again. The salesperson is going to think you're freaking crazy, or they're going to respect you for making a decision in a very important long-term investment. This is what I've done, 3 to 5 visits, and then finally the bed I've picked last that I feel is the one, I've gone to the store and told the sales clerk I'm going to take a nap. And I do that 20 to 30 minutes to see if I feel comfortable. If you can get to a store that gives you a 30 to a 60-day free exchange, even better. Because in the past I've had that luxury where I got a bed, I got a Tempur-Pedic. Man, I loved that at the beginning. It felt so comfortable, but I didn't move when I slept. And I woke up so stiff that got worse and worse the longer that I had the bed, and I realized no matter how comfortable it feels to nap on this bed, no matter how comfortable it feels to, initially fall asleep on the bed, I woke up feeling very uncomfortable, and that wasn't good for me. There are many other aspects to getting a good quality sleep, and I'll let you do your research on those things. In the article, I talk about having sleep apnea, so you definitely want to make sure that you are breathing correctly in your sleep. If you have any kind of snoring issues, investigate the cause of those, because if you're not breathing properly during sleep, that is negatively going to affect how deeply you can get into sleep and how well you can recover. Rest and recovery, the other 2 important aspects. Recovery is repair. Recovery from a night of drinking, recovery from doing intense exercise. That involves both rest and sleep. They have different qualities. If you're not properly rested, if you don't sleep well enough, your recovery from your workout or an injury is going to be delayed. Rest is an action and a state of mind. Taking a rest like I just did here to just come down, to if I'm feeling tired, to let that out of my body by stopping both my mind and stopping my body for 20 to 30 minutes, getting up and then feeling energized. That quality of restfulness can improve your mood and your overall outlook on the day. Thanks for getting into bed with me. I hope you've enjoyed the experience as much as I have. The thing I want to impart to you through the entire program, the 4 pillars of wellness, is that I can give you ideas, I can help you to think, but ultimately you have to make your own decisions, you have to do your own research, and at an intuitive level, you have to determine what's the most important pillar that you want to put the greatest amount of attention and focus on right now that's going to have the biggest impact on improving your wellness. Make sure that you not only read the article that is associated with this video, but do download the worksheet and do the exercises. You will experience improvement. You're going to sleep better, rest better, and hopefully you're going to wake up feeling fantastic tomorrow morning. Thanks again. Darren Stehle of Eat Move Be with the 4 Pillars of Wellness.